Everyone is buying Mac Minis right now for OpenClaw. They're literally selling out, and I get it. Every YouTube video you watch tells you that you need to get a dedicated machine, that you need to spend $500 to $700 just to run an AI assistant. And look, I set it up OpenClaw for over a dozen clients at this point, and I've done it on VPS servers, I've done it locally, and I've done it in multiple different ways. And I'm telling you right now that buying a Mac Mini for this is one of the biggest wastes of money I'm seeing in the AI space. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why, and I'm going to walk you through the alternatives that are cheaper, more secure, and in most cases actually better. So let's get into it. So let's talk about where this whole Mac Mini thing came from. OpenClaw needs a computer to run on, and because it has full access to whatever machine it's installed on, it can then read files, it can run terminal commands, and it can browse the web. So essentially it can basically do anything. And the common advice became don't run it on your main computer, and that's actually solid advice. And I agree with that part. But then people made this weird logical jump. They went from don't run it on your main machine straight to go buy a brand new Mac Mini. And suddenly you've got creators telling you to spend lots of money before you've even sent your first message to OpenClaw. So here's the thing nobody's telling you. You don't even know if OpenClaw is even right for you yet. You don't know if you're going to use it every day or abandon it after a week. And spending a lot of money on hardware before you've figured that out is just a bad advice. The other reason people push Mac Minis is because OpenClaw was initially optimized for macOS, and that's true. Some features like iMessage integration are Mac only, but unless iMessage is a deal breaker for you, there's absolutely no reason for you that you need a macOS to run this on. So OpenClaw works perfectly fine on Linux, which is essentially what every VPS virtual private server runs on, and it works on Windows too. So what should you actually do instead? Well, there are really four paths here, and which one you choose depends on your budget, your technical comfort level, and how seriously you want to use OpenClaw. So I'm going to break down each one, the cost, the pros, the cons, and who it's best for. I personally set up OpenClaw using every single one of these methods. So this isn't theory, this is from actual experience. The first option, and honestly the one I recommend for most people, is a VPS, a virtual private server. If you've never heard of that, it's basically a computer that lives in a data center somewhere. So you rent it out by month, it runs 24/7, and you can access it remotely. The big players here are DigitalOcean, Hostinger, Vultr, and Linode, and essentially there's a bunch of them. So pricing typically starts around $6 to $12 a month, depending on the specs you go for. Now, here's why this is better than a Mac Mini for most people. So first, it's always on. You don't have to worry about power outages, or if your internet goes down, or accidentally cloning your laptop. So your OpenClaw is running in a data center with enterprise-grade uptime. The second reason is that it's isolated. So this is the security argument that people use for buying a Mac Mini. But a VPS does the exact same thing, better actually. So your OpenClaw lives on its own server. It can't touch your personal files, your passwords, your photos, nothing. If something goes wrong, you literally just delete the server and spin up a new one in minutes. Try doing that with a Mac Mini. Now, the third reason is the cost. So a solid VPS that can handle OpenClaw will run you $7 to $12 a month over a full year. So that's $84 to $144, whereas a Mac Mini, it will cost you at least $500 to $600 upfront, plus your electricity bill. So you'd have to run a VPS for over 4 years before it costs the same as a Mac Mini. And by then, the technology will have changed completely. So the only real downside of a VPS is that it doesn't have a graphical desktop by default. So features like browser control or screen-based automation require a bit more configuration. But for most people, chatting through Telegram, naming Chrome jobs, managing emails, doing research, a VPS can handle all of this perfectly. Now, the second option is to just run OpenClaw on a computer you already own. And before you say, but you just said don't run it on your own machine, just hear me out. If you're just experimenting with OpenClaw and you want to test it out and see if it's actually useful for you, running it on your main computer is completely fine to start with. You don't need to go buy anything, and you can just install it, play with it, and get a feel for it. The risk everyone is talking about, which is OpenClaw going rogue and deleting all your files, yes, that's theoretically possible, but in practice, if you're being sensible about what you're asking it to do and you're not giving it access to sensitive accounts right away, you're going to be fine for testing purposes. The only real downside here is that when your computer is off, OpenClaw is off. So you lose the 24/7 assistant aspect. But again, for testing and getting started, that does not matter. So once you've tested it for a week or two, and you finally decide that you want it to run all the time, 24/7, that's when you can move to a VPS or one of the other options. But you'll be making the decision from experience and from some YouTube video telling you to spend, let's say, a minimum of $600 on day one. Now, if you have an old laptop sitting in a drawer somewhere, that works too. You can just wipe it, install OpenClaw, and now you've got a dedicated device for free. The third option is actually something that nobody is talking about, and it's actually really clever. You can run a virtual machine on your existing Mac using a free app called UTM. What this does is it creates a completely separate macOS environment inside your actual Mac. Think of it as like a computer within your computer. Now, OpenClaw runs inside that virtual environment, so it's fully sandbox and isolated. It can't access your real files, your real accounts, or nothing on your real actual Mac. So this gives you the isolation of a separate machine without buying anything. It's free, and because it's running on macOS, you get all the Mac-specific features like iMessage integration if you want that. The trade-off is performance. You're sharing your computer's resources with the virtual machine. So things naturally will be a bit slower. And just like running it locally, when your Mac is off, OpenClaw is off. But if the security concern is your main worry and you don't want to pay for a VPS, this is genuinely great middle ground. The fourth option is for people who want the most secure setup possible. Now, this is a VPS combined with Tailscale, which is a private VPN network. So here's the problem with a standard VPS. It's sitting on the public internet, and now OpenClaw has security features built in. And if you set it up correctly with proper authentication, you're going to be fine. But if you want to go the extra mile, Tailscale makes your server essentially invisible to the entire internet. So what you're doing is essentially you're creating a private network that only your authorized devices can see. So for example, your phone, your laptop, whatever you approve, these are the only devices that can reach your OpenClaw server. So everyone else on the internet, it doesn't exist. So you can combine that with Telegram as your communication channel because Telegram is an outbound connection from the server. So it still works even when the server is locked down, and you've got something that's more secure than 99% of setups out there, including people running it on a Mac Mini with no security whatsoever. I'll have a dedicated video walking through this exact Tailscale setup coming soon. If that's something you want to see, let me know in the comments. Let me just lay out the numbers really quickly because I think this puts it into perspective. So let's say for a Mac Mini, it's at least $500 to $600 upfront, plus electricity. Plus, you still need to set it up yourself. A VPS can be $7 to $12 a month, no upfront cost, and it runs 24/7 in full isolation. Your existing computer, which is free, zero cost, and it's perfect for testing. A virtual machine with UTN is free, it's sandboxed, and the Mac features are included. And remember, on top of whichever option you choose, you're also paying for the AI model itself. So whether that's Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini, or something else, that's your ongoing cost that ranges from about, let's say, $10 to $200 a month, depending on the model and how much you use it. So when someone tells you the first thing you need to do is to spend $600 on hardware, just know that you could literally run OpenClaw for an entire year on a VPS for less than a quarter of that price. Now, I do want to be fair here. There are some cases where a dedicated Mac device actually makes sense. If iMessage integration is critical for you, like you absolutely need your AI assistant to send and receive iMessages, then yes, you need a Mac. But even then, look at a refurbished Mac Mini or an older model. You don't need the latest one. So if you're running multiple AI agents and you need serious compute power locally, a dedicated machine can make sense. But we're talking power users here, not someone setting up their first OpenClaw. And if you just prefer having a physical device that you can see and touch and know it's running, I get that. So some people like that, and it's just not necessary from a technical standpoint. So for everyone else, and that's the vast majority of people getting into OpenClaw right now, a VPS or even your current computer is all you need essentially. So the truth about the Mac Mini situation is that you don't need one. Save your money and start with what you have and upgrade your setup once you actually know what you need. If you're watching this and thinking, I just want someone to set this up for me properly, I've got a community called OpenClaw Setup on School where I help people get their OpenClaw configured from scratch. Now, whether that's on a VPS, locally, with Tailscale, whatever makes sense for your situation, I'll drop the link in the description below. And if you find this video helpful, write a comment and let me know which setup option you're going with. It generally does help me know what tutorials to make in the future. So I will have full step-by-step guides coming for DigitalOcean, Tailscale, and more. So subscribe if you don't want to miss that, and I'll see you in the next video.